Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming. Today we're kicking off the 2020 Gasparilla season. We expect thousands of people to come into our city, whether it be spectators, party goers. It's a fun time of year. Everything will start off this coming weekend with the Children's Parade. We want to make sure that everyone has a fun experience, but they're also having a safe experience. We take pride in seeing how Gasparilla season has grown over the years, and it's really turned into quite the spectacle. And nobody does this by themselves. Our city hosts several large-scale events all the time, whether it be Stanley Cup championships, college football championships, just like we had one last night, Super Bowls, all kinds of different events, women's Final Fours, you name it. And we're very good at hosting these big events, and we're ready for this one as well. But we rely on everyone out there to be our eyes and ears and tell us what's going on out there. There will be plenty of law enforcement at the various events. We would ask that each of you, anytime you see a police officer, a deputy, any type of cop, that you go up to them and you say hello, but more importantly, you feel comfortable sharing information you may have. So right now, I'd like to bring up the Mayor Jayne Castor from the City of Tampa.
Thank you, Chief. Yeah, this is an exciting time for us, exciting time of year with all of our Gasparilla festivities. Every time I try to explain Gasparilla to people from out of town, I eventually get to the point where I say, you just have to come down and see it. So this is our signature event here, and as the Chief said, we're starting it off with the Children's Parade on Saturday, but actually we started it off on New Year's Eve with those of you that were in attendance. We had at midnight, we had the treasure chest come down that we affectionately referred to as our booty drop here in Tampa in our pirate-themed history. So we have already started the Gasparilla season off. Very, very excited about it with the Children's Parade. I want to take a second to say thank you to everyone who has a hand in putting this on. You really have no idea how much effort it takes and how many individuals are involved in making Gasparilla look seamless and having it a fun time for all of our residents and all of our visitors from around the United States. So thanks to police and fire, thanks to transportation, thanks to Ye Mystic crew, thanks to everybody for all that you do to make this a great event. And the Gasparilla Children's Parade is like the parade that I grew up with as a kid, and it is a fun time for our entire community. Our big initiative this year is going to be a bead-free bay. We have the Sedita brothers over here that started actually when I was the chief of police. I met with them. They had been fishing over on Harbor Island after one of the parades, and every cast that they threw, they would bring up beads. Not nearly as good as a redfish or a snook, but would bring up beads, and those don't belong in our bay. And so through the years, they have worked tirelessly. We got all of the crews, Ye Mystic crew, all of the other major crews that come in the flotilla to support it as well. So beads are the integral part of our parades. That's not going to stop. People are still encouraged to throw beads. Just don't do it on the waterways. We have to ensure that our bay is clean for our marine life and for all of our enjoyment as well. So I couldn't be more pleased to have the Sedita brothers to have put so much effort into this, even starting a nonprofit, but then to have the community come on board and really wholeheartedly take on this initiative to keep beads out of our bay. Now, a lot of people have asked the question, what happens if people do throw beads? Again, we are trying to get everyone to cooperate. We don't want to write any citations, but frankly, we've spoken with the Ye Mystic crew, and if we do find violators, they are going to be wrapped in beads and have to walk the plank. So it's just a decision that was made, and we're going to stick with that. So We actually have our bead-free mascot over here, the dolphin, and he is probably burning up in that outfit, but he is our mascot to ensure that we keep the beads out of our bay. So couldn't be more excited. And lastly, I see Tony back there. Couldn't do anything we do in this community without our Parks and Recreation, and they do a great job every single day. So thank you all very, very much. All right.
Thank you, Mayor. Only in Tampa can you have a press conference with a dolphin at it. So now I'd like to bring up from Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Chad Chronister, who's going to talk about some of the joint efforts among the law enforcement agencies for Gasparilla. Sheriff?
Thank you, Chief Dugan and our amazing mayor for spearheading such a tremendous undertaking each and every year. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office couldn't be more proud to partner with the Tampa Police Department and every agency from around surrounding counties and beyond that are all charged with the common task of keeping every parade goer safe. If I had to make a plea, I would plea to each and every person, come enjoy yourself and celebrate. That's what this is, a time of celebration. But make sure you celebrate responsibly. Make sure that you are respectful of the other 500,000 people that we're expecting during the parade route. As well as make sure you have a plan in place before you start the party to get home safely. Chief, thank you.
From Tampa Fire Rescue, Fire Chief Nick LaCicero.
Good morning. As the chiefs and the mayor has said, this is a huge undertaking. I don't think that there's any municipality that does it better than this community. And while there's a lot going on, we just make it look easy. There's a whole lot of planning that goes on with this and a whole lot of detail. We could not do it at Fire Rescue without the partnerships from the local police department, departments, sheriff's office, state agencies that are on the water, the Coast Guard, it goes on and on. So we appreciate that. A couple things that I want to make mention is that as you see behind us, we're partnering with Tampa Police Department. We will have bike medics on the route. They're dressed as you see, and they have bikes. They'll be very, very mobile and accessible to the crowd on the parade route and in the communities as well. So be on the lookout for that should you need assistance. We also will have 2 medical treatment tent areas set up for those that may need a bit of respite or those that may need some treatment as we move through the crowds and take care of any medical issues. As the mayor has said, the sheriff and the police chief has said, please be prepared. You will be bringing children to the parade. There will be children there. Make sure that you keep track of them. Make sure that you're aware of exactly with all the haste with the parade, that you know what they're wearing in case you get separated, that they're wearing in case they get separated. And then we want to make sure that we don't have any lost children. Always look for fire rescue personnel or police officer in case of that separation so we can get them back together. We will be having our emergency operations center that will be open, and the information center hotline will be available throughout both the Children's Parade and the Pirate Invasion to answer any questions citizens may have. And the number for the hotline is 844-TAMPA-4U or 844-826-7248. And you can always get texting updates by texting the word Gasparilla to 888-777. So let's make this a wonderful and safe event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nick. From the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, we have the Special Agent in Charge, Mark Brutnell. Mark?
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief and Mayor. The men and women of law enforcement and firefighters, they work diligently, very hard, daily to protect our citizens and visitors of this great community. But what can the public do to help us? Because clearly we can't be in all places at all times. If you see something, we need you to say something. And by that we mean by suspicious behaviors. There's 2 avenues to report that for us. There is a hotline, which is 855-FLA-SAFE, or online at flcsay.org. And again, we can't be everywhere at all times, so we're relying upon the public to be our eyes and ears, as the sheriff and chief mentioned earlier. So working together with the public and these great men and women behind us, we can make this place even safer. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark. You know, none of this could be possible without the Ye Mystic crew of Gasparilla. And this parade and these events have really evolved into so many different things, but we could not do it without their assistance. They play such a vital role, and they have really changed the whole atmosphere of Gasparilla and turned it into such a great family event throughout the next couple months. And so we really appreciate them. And from the crew of Gasparilla, we have their captain, Richard Chapman. Richard?
Thank you, Chief. I'm Richard Chapman. I serve as captain of Ye Mystic crew of Gasparilla. Ye Mystic crew and Gasparilla and Event Fest are once again pleased to join with the City of Tampa, Tampa Police Department, and the U.S. Coast Guard in developing and implementing a safe plan for the invasion of Tampa Bay. That responsibility begins first with the Mayor's Bead Free initiative. We want to continue to support that. Our first efforts at keeping beads out of the bay was posting signage at the local boat ramps. We've met with the other crews, and through the Mayor's leadership, we've promoted this message, and we hope everyone gets it. There will be beads during the parade. Don't worry, there'll be plenty. Just protect our bay, keep it clean so our future generations can appreciate it. Our next responsibility is to our community, specifically our high school age people and our college age students who will be attending the parade. 8 years ago, we started an educational initiative in conjunction with Hillsborough County Schools and our private schools, and that was developed with Event Fest, Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa, Anheuser-Busch, InBev, and Pepin Distributing to go into the local schools and educate everyone, not just about Gasparilla, but their responsibilities within growing up in this town and participating in an event like Gasparilla. So that's been going on for 8 years, and I think the chief will tell you, the mayor will tell you that's been a great success. The school principals will join in that and saying that we've done a really good job of educating our young people. So thank you to everyone, especially the Tampa Police Department, who goes out every year into our schools to make sure that message is delivered to every generation that comes through. With that, I would say a special thank you to all the law enforcement that contributes to this event, our City of Tampa partners and our sponsors. We look forward to a very safe and joyous Gasparilla season. Thank you.
So here to talk about some of the programs that we have going on, we couldn't do this without Pepin Distributing. They have just played a vital role in our education programs that we have going on. Jeff Akins, the superintendent at Hillsborough County Schools, wasn't able to be here today, but they have just been tremendous partnerships with us and getting the word out to all the kids out there and really making Gasparilla a safe event for everyone. From Pepin Distributing, I'd like to bring up Billy Geese King, and he can talk about what's going on with Pepin. Well, what's going on?
Thank you, Chief. Pepin Distributing Company couldn't be more proud to partner with all of these great partners in our community to make a difference and to fight underage drinking. And as the captain said, after 8 years of this Responsibility Matters presentations in our schools, we have made our community a safer place and a much better place for everyone to live. So it's these presentations are absolutely proven to be effective in fighting underage drinking, and it's very, very important at Gasparilla. For all of the adults, have fun, celebrate like everybody has said, have a Bud Light seltzer, but be sure, drink wiser and celebrate and hydrate in between your beers this year. So be safe and happy Gasparilla, everybody.
Alrighty, thank you. Before the mayor comes up, I'd like to thank Kevin Plummer from Tampa Prep. Kevin, thank you for coming. From Florida Fish and Wildlife, we have Major Roger Young. We could not do this without our partners, and we sincerely appreciate that. Again, I'd like to remind everyone, if you text 888-777 with Gasparilla, you can get updates as to what's going on. Safety is so important, and I'd like to remind everyone, especially for Saturday's Children's Parade, if you could take a picture of all the people in your party, individual pictures, especially of the kids. Be smart with your smartphone. That way, if you get separated, law enforcement will know exactly what they're wearing, exactly what they look like, and it's going to make it much easier for us to get together and have a plan on how you're going to get together if you do get separated. Whether you call someone who's not down on the parade route or whether you're going to text each other, but have a plan on how you're going to get everybody back together in your group if you were to get separated. And so if we have any questions, I'd like to bring up Mayor Castor, and the mayor and I can handle any questions you may have. I guess. Well, all I can tell you is we will have, several officers from different agencies. I think we have close to 12 different agencies that are involved from the Bay Area. We'll be sharing equipment and things like that. When they go along the parade route, they're going to see equipment from different agencies. That's how we do things in Tampa. That's how we do things in the Bay Area. We work together to put on these big events. So we never release the exact number, but we're going to have lots of officers everywhere. I guess that's it.
Good? Oh.
Well, the question was about body cams. The only time the body cams will really come into play is if the officers are taking some sort of police action. Other than that, the body cameras won't be rolling all the time.
But tell them that we'll have cameras along the parade route too.
Well, that's true. The mayor brought up a good point. There are cameras throughout the parade route, throughout downtown, that will be rolling all the time. That's why she's mayor, to keep me on track. So.
Sure. As expansive and confident as the security plan is, and the Chief Dugan and I are extremely proud of the plan that has been developed to keep this event and every event that's come and is coming to the Tampa Bay area. I think it's important to always remember that the responsibility of being safe at any type of event is a responsibility that we all share. And that's why it's so important, especially with tensions in the Middle East, as they are right now. And I have to clarify that by saying we have no credible threats here in the Tampa Bay area, and the chief and I, along with all our partner agencies, will continue to monitor that on a minute-by-minute basis. But it's a responsibility that we all share, and that's why it's vital, even more important than ever. If you see something suspicious, please say something to any law enforcement officer that you see, or simply call 911. There's no more security than normal. We certainly are asking our partners, whether you're a Tampa police officer or a deputy sheriff, to remain vigilant. And there's been several memos that have gone out from both agencies just asking our officers to be more vigilant as well. We're asking the community to remain vigilant. We expect that to be the same from our deputies and everyone in our community. Like I said, this is a responsibility that we all share. And there's no doubt in my mind that this event's going to be a great one, just like every event that we put on with Tampa. And that's why it's so important that we all share that responsibility of safety and security.